everyone. Welcome to Crazy Old Folks. My name is Monica Brinkman. If this is the first time you're visiting, and as always, my wonderful host, Mr. Kenneth Ween.
Hi, folks.
Hey, Ken. Lots happening in the world, and
Yeah, even a little bit of it good. Not all that good, but some good.
yeah,
Of course, yeah. I was talking to a friend of ours the other day about Cynthia Hogue, if you remember her, the poet.
yes, I
Yeah.
do.
She and her husband and I went out for supper, and we were talking about the show and how it's gone over the years and changed and all. And I was talking about how many of the really heavy hitting stuff that we've done over the years. It's really
Yes,
surprising.
yeah.
And yeah,
Some
we
wonderful guests.
yeah, wonderful guests and wonderful topics. And, but one of the things she reminded me of was that we've never shied away from the hard stuff.
No,
We've talked about some pretty difficult stuff. And today I thought maybe we should talk about Jeffrey Epstein.
yeah.
uh, who certainly is one of the most difficult topics I can think of going on. And we have a cat with us. We always have a cat
Yes, my
with us, don't we?
sick kitty. Say hello, Henry.
Hi, Henry. So,
They want to be
uh,
divas.
uh, they don't want to know Jeffrey Epstein.
No, absolutely
No.
not. No,
No.
they'd
Okay.
scratch his eyes out.
So I thought we could chat a little about him.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated, not
This is
not
a
by
hard
this.
topic for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not the sex. I mean, that's disgusting.
Yeah. I think everybody agrees on that. I don't care who they are.
And we all agree that's disgusting, and yet fascinating, scintillating. And that brings up the real issue, which is here we have all of these people who are people of power, people of wealth, and they're getting involved in this disgusting but scintillating behavior. And what is it? And what does that say about them? What does that say about us? Are we as animals given to that kind of behavior? If we're set free of all bonds, would you and I be doing those kinds of behaviors? Uh, and nobody knows the answers to those questions because
Well, I kind of think with the wealthy can that they have everything they could want. It's not
yeah,
exciting anymore. So now they're going for something that's more exciting and
but
they can get away with it.
that might make sense if we were talking about these people doing this once they were wealthy, and if we were talking about all wealthy people. We're not.
Oh,
We're not talking
no. I
about all
just
wealthy
think
people, and
some.
some of these people,
Mhm.
were doing it all along. The simple fact of the matter is, the simple fact of the matter is that Bill Clinton was not a very wealthy or important guy when his penchant for getting people to give him blowjobs came out. And Jeffrey Epstein himself was a loser,
Yeah.
basically. I
He
mean,
was nothing.
he didn't finish college. He
No.
goes back to this second-rate day school in New York, and he's teaching. And and he's doing no. I think what it is not that they're looking for a challenge. It's that they see themselves as different from you and I. That's
Mhm.
where I was
But
going.
yeah, I believe some do. Yeah. So
Yeah,
much so.
yeah. I think that there are people who get so involved with themselves and so self-adoring that they don't give a rat's ass about anybody else. And I don't think, the fact of the matter is that I don't think what I set out at the beginning is true. I don't think most of us would. Oh, we might fool around a little if the opportunity came. I mean, even Jimmy Carter committed adultery in his heart. But, he
Right,
would never have cheated on his wife. I don't see you cheating on Rich. I don't see Rich cheating on you.
right.
I certainly never was tempted to cheat on my wife. And I, to the best of my knowledge, don't think she ever
But Ken,
was.
see, you have the capability of caring about someone else's emotions because any one of us could go have an affair anytime we wanted it. Let's face it,
Of course
you
we
know.
could. I've
And
been
and,
off it.
and it's because you love this person so much. We all that you would never hurt them that way.
Mhm. But not only wouldn't I cheat on my wife, but if somebody else came along and offered to me, I would also be thinking about how it would affect them, how it would affect their families if they had
What a
one.
mess. Yeah.
I care about people. And,
Hmm.
I think that as we go through recent American history, we have seen a great divide between those people who I believe really, really care about other people and those who really don't.
It's interesting
Now,
because
that
I
doesn't
was,
mean that if they got into political power, everything they did was bad. I think Bill Clinton didn't care about other people, but I think he did some good stuff. He did some not so good stuff.
Mhm.
I think that some of the people we had, uh, you know, cared more or less. I don't think it's an absolute, but I think that Jeffrey Epstein is appealing to those people who see themselves as above, better than, more important than,
they're,
and
I call them, they think they're legends in their own minds, you know,
I'm
but no
sorry,
one
I
else is.
didn't hear, that, Monica. Would you repeat
They're,
it, please?
I think of them as believing they're legends in their own mind.
Yeah, but the funny thing is that they tend to be legends. I mean, Donald Trump is a legend. You know, most of the people that Jeffrey Epstein had on his island are pretty legendary characters. It's not they're not just in their own minds, they are legends. It's that being a legend is the only thing they care about.
Hmm.
Okay. It's
Which
it's
is kind of
not,
what I meant.
yeah. I mean, Barack Obama is a legend,
Yes,
but that's not what's important to him.
correct. Yeah.
Um, you know, and I really think when you look at the people, the dividing line in this country, one of the major dividing lines is the people who feel that somehow they are better than, more right than, more entitled than the other person. Now, I have friends who I disagree with politically. I'm sure
Hmm.
you have friends you
Oh,
disagree with.
yeah. I
But
just
but
tell them we each have our own path,
right,
but let's not hate each other for it.
but they still care about other people.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not talking about people who differ across the political spectrum.
No, no,
I'm
no.
talking about the ability to care about other human beings. Okay. And if you don't have that ability to care about other human beings, that's where it really is an issue for me. So, we can get all caught up in the sex, but I don't think that's, like Prince Andrew, he certainly, I mean, I imagine that he's had sex with anything that had a hole in it, including probably a keyhole in a door. I mean, I don't think he could keep it in his pants for 3 minutes. And I'm going to guess, I'm going to guess that he's taken pictures, he's taken trophies, It's all about him.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, that to me is disgusting.
Hmm.
Okay. Because it means that the other person didn't matter too. And I will give, you know, Clinton some benefit of the doubt on that he did care about Monica Lewinsky. I don't think he's totally without feeling, but I think of some of these people, like Prince Andrew, really had no feeling for anyone.
Well, it's kind of they're brought up that way, though. A lot of them can. When they come from wealth like that and generations of wealth, they're taught
But
by
that's
their
not fair. That's not fair because Charles wasn't that way. Okay.
right. But he's a different person.
William seems like a very sweet human being.
I know, but they can either go along with what they're teaching them is okay because they're wealthy, or they can have, like you said,
Right.
emotions and feelings and kindness, which was taught by Princess Diana to them. And one
Well,
of them carried that on and one didn't.
well, oh, you mean Harry? Oh, I don't know. Harry, I think was not. I think Harry is hurting, but I don't think he's been that kind of indifferent to all of the people. I don't know enough about him to know.
No, but what I'm saying is, they were at least given some kind of training
Yeah, but
on being
again,
human and helping others. And then
again,
they had a
but then
choice.
but then we have Jeffrey Epstein, who was brought up, low and well, maybe middle class. I mean, this is,
So
I see.
that
I don't.
little island has been going on before Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, of course it has.
So they
What
just
he
had to
managed to
find
do,
somebody.
is he created a network for these people. Like there's a group called the Man Boy Love Association or something like that, NAMBLA, and
Yeah.
that is about homosexual pedophiles.
Hmm.
And it's an organization. I mean, it's, you can't find it. They don't have a president, right? But it's an organization out there. And I think this group of people, he managed to become like the de facto president of this group of narcissists.
Hmm.
But I think I'd love to be able to say it's money, but it isn't.
No.
I'd love to say it's, you can do a neurological thing for it. And maybe we could. Maybe someday we'll be able to go in and zap somebody's amygdala and see whether they're a total narcissist or not. I don't know. But I don't think we know what causes it. That's the scariest part of it. You go into a prison, and there are people in that prison who truly don't care what suffering they impose or even get pleasure in imposing suffering. And
Yeah.
I say a prison because clearly, a lot of these people, like Jeffrey Epstein, get caught and locked up. Maybe Andrew will get locked up. I don't know. But, in a sense, Donald Trump was locked up. He was sent away to a military school. The rest of his family weren't.
Right.
And the military school he went to was one I was familiar with, and it was basically a place where kids were sent because they were socially inadept. They did not know how to accept authority, and they did not know how to follow rules because they just
Yeah.
can't
I
do anything.
remember those. My father would threaten my brothers with that.
Uh-huh.
We
Yeah,
would send them there.
but
But yeah.
you know, I I knew one family when I was a kid. They had two sons, one of whom is now he's retired, but he was, grew up to become a dentist and a very, very fine member of the community. And his younger brother, they sent him to boarding school, to a military school, and the military school couldn't handle him.
Mm.
So, and I don't know what happened to him. I'd love to. If ought to try and see if I could do a historic search on him to see what prison he went to, what
And
happens
again,
there.
that brings us into a whole other thing, and it's mental illness,
Mhm.
um,
Well,
which
yeah, what is mental illness? I mean, are you mentally ill? Okay, if you can be president of the United States and not give a damn about anybody else and engage in inappropriate sexual behavior, blah, 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 is it mental illness?
I think so.
Because it's serving you. You're okay. You're doing okay in the world. Whereas another person who may be quite loving, caring, and decent ends up sacrificing their life trying to help somebody else. So I don't know what mental illness is anymore. Is mental illness what makes the group work or
Well,
makes your own individual
and
life work, or is it a balance between the two, or what?
someone shoots someone, kills them, they go to
Yeah.
trial, they're put in prison. We have a leader who's intentionally harming people
Yeah. Oh,
against the
I'm not
Constitution.
questioning. I'm not
Yes, he's
saying
mentally ill, and he's been mentally
no,
ill.
no, that's the question. Okay. Not everybody in prison is mentally ill. Okay. Can you is he a destructive being? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Is that mental illness or not? That becomes a very interesting philosophical question.
Well, they
Okay.
say that mental illness, you need to fit into society and handle whatever position you are given
Well,
appropriately. If you
yeah,
can't do that,
but he is handling his position. You and I don't think it's appropriate, but his followers do. Now,
well, I don't care about what the followers think at this point because I'm going by our constitutional rights. And um, what
but
he has done, I've watched it over the years. He's done what every authoritarian government does.
yeah, again,
So,
Monica, I'm not disagreeing with you about his
of
evil.
course, he's
This is
mentally
like
ill. He
Jeffrey
doesn't even have
Epstein.
compassion for people. He doesn't
He
know how to
doesn't.
have
He
empathy.
doesn't. He doesn't. And
He is
you're
sick in the
absolutely
head.
right. It's absolutely, Monica, I agree with you. I'm
I'm
saying,
just telling you my point. Now,
yeah, but I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying, let's not call it mental illness because you see, we used to say that who were homosexual were mentally ill.
mhm,
Okay. I think it's too easy to use a concept like mental illness. I think what we have to be much more sophisticated in our language and in our approach. I think that every society has in it potentially destructive leaders, okay, potentially very destructive leaders.
yes, yes,
And one way or another, they end up being weeded out or not weeded out. So one society ends up with a Hitler, and another society ends up with the hit at would-be authoritarian going to the guillotine.
mhm,
Um, it's never that simple. And you look at some of these people, and in some ways, who are really evil in some ways, like Hitler, like Mussolini, like Mao, like Stalin, who also accomplished great things. So, I think we have to stop thinking about individuals and start thinking about what society needs. Okay.
yes.
That's where now you mentioned the Constitution. And of course, as you know from many past conversations, I think we should rewrite the Constitution.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, but not the way they want to rewrite it.
Who's a they?
The
Okay.
Heritage Foundation
Oh,
and
no, the Heritage Foundation and I would not see eye to eye on that.
well,
But
that's what they want to use to rewrite our Constitution. It's
oh
part of
yes,
their 2025 project that
yes,
people
yes.
said didn't exist.
There are people who want to, and I want to. Okay, I don't want to necessarily make the same changes they do. For example, I would probably opt to change the electoral college.
Yes,
I would probably opt
agree
to
with that.
change the method of congressional representation to making it divided within the state by vote rather than by district. Okay, so that gerrymandering would not work.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to worry about it then.
Yeah,
It's so simple a solution.
yeah. I would probably, on the other side, I would probably get rid of birthright citizenship. I would change that so that you know we could have people coming to this country to work and visit, and their children are not automatically American citizens. That's a leftover from the Civil War. Um, so there were things that change, and you know,
Right.
but
But first, you have to have a group of people
come
willing to
together,
get together and talk.
yes, to
Because
talk.
I feel like our government is being led by a blackmailer. I mean,
Well, right now,
our
you're you're
Congress is
you're talking
ridiculous.
about one person, but I
No,
think
because
it's
the House of Representatives and the
okay.
Senate, especially the House, it's like my way or too bad. We'll shut down the government. It's like a
Well,
2-year-old.
there is that attitude on both sides, I think.
A strong leader of the House would say, no, we're not shutting we're going to sit down here and we're going to talk about all of this.
Now, who are you talking to? I'm not sure. You're talking about the leader of the House. The
Yeah,
Speaker
like
of the House is
Johnson, he's
meeting with whom?
horrible.
Is meeting with whom? Who's that discussion with?
It's with the House representatives, Democrats and Republicans.
So he should give a speech to the House of
The
Representatives.
House of Representatives, not just his party.
You're talking about the Speaker of the House addressing the House.
Mhm.
Okay, I was lost. Okay, what makes you think that would have lead to any kind of agreement?
And a
I mean,
strong leader.
is there some reason you believe
Well,
that,
first of all, what I believe is he's bringing way too much stuff up for vote that he knows isn't going to pass.
okay,
A good leader would be going out and making sure they have the vote or so close to having the vote and then bring it forward. He's incapable of doing that, of
well,
reaching across
okay,
the
he's playing
aisle.
politics. He's playing party politics.
Yeah, but Ken, this is blackmailing. This is like my way or the highway, and things that people don't even want. The American people don't even want. That's blackmailing us. They're
Wait a
thugs.
minute, people, who doesn't want things that who doesn't want?
The majority of Americans, when I
But
say the
that's not
people,
his constituency. His constituency is the House.
yeah,
He's not a national officer.
I know he's not, but any other leader of the House that did their job properly would not be bringing all
I,
these.
are you saying we've had better speakers of the House?
Oh my gosh,
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more.
I know, but they need to sit down and talk.
Who's the they?
All of the representatives in our House, the state's representatives.
What makes you think they want to?
I didn't
See,
say they wanted to. I
I
said
don't think
that's what
they
they
do.
need to do.
I
I don't
know,
care what they want. It's what the people want. They represent me and you.
they do and they don't. I'm sorry. I really, honestly, I know what you're saying. And in a
I'm
perfect
not talking
world,
about a perfect world, Ken. Never. I'm
there
talking
would be
about
a Speaker of the
compromise and
House.
doing their job. All
There
we're
would be a
doing is
speaker.
paying them to fly all over the place.
Yeah, they're not doing their job right. I agree. Okay. How do we change that? How do you and I change
We
that?
stop the
You and I,
state.
we can sit here and talk about how he's not doing his job as Speaker of the House properly. And I could bring up examples of better speakers. I think Nancy Pelosi was better, personally. I think Tip O'Neill was incredibly better.
Yes.
But, okay, but so what? How do we make them do it? That's the question. See, we can be angry and angry and angry, and all that's going to do is divide us and divide us and divide us. Or we can figure out how are we going to make somebody actually sit down and talk. So tell me, how do we get the Speaker of the House to sit down first with the leadership of the two parties together to find common ground?
Yeah.
Forget the whole House, that's too raucous. Maybe I could believe if he could sit down with 10 people on each side
Hmm.
and get them to have a rational discussion. How do we get him to do that? Please, I'd love to know, people. I'd love to
I
know.
would love to know too, because that's our problem right now. They
Yeah.
have two sides in black and white, and that's it, and that's not life.
Well, it's I think that the problem is that we have now, there was a time when if you asked at least most of the vast majority of American politicians to define themselves, they would start out with I'm an American. Then they would probably, if they were believing in some religion, whatever it was, they would say, I am a whatever, Christian, Jew, Muslim, atheist, whatever their beliefs were. And then third, might be their state they grew up in or area of the country. For instance, I would probably go, I'm a New Englander. And then would be their political party. Political party was not the top of the list. And what we've done is create a system in which the parties are so preoccupied with staying in power that everything is about the party.
Well,
And we saw this during the Biden reelection campaign when he clearly, I mean, staying in power, keeping, you know, we don't change anything. We keep our people who are running things, and that became so self-destructive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Ken, we're running out of time right now,
Mhm.
so I think we need to continue talking a little bit about this because it's so
Okay.
varied, and I think everybody wants to. We're getting to the point I think where people want to work together a little bit more. So
I hope so.
I do
I
too.
hope maybe, Monica, let me hope that somebody reaches out to us on Facebook and suggests to you, to me, or to our crazy old folks page,
Yeah,
and suggests a way that we can get these people at the top of the House of Representatives to actually sit down and talk about what America needs and
exactly.
actually kind of come together. And if you folks, if you have some idea about how to do that, please, please, please share it
Yeah,
because
we would
that's where
love
I
to
draw the
know.
line. Yeah,
Okay, well, Ken, we'll chat a little bit more about some of this. And folks, if you have any ideas, if you'd like to come on, drop us a line. See you
please.
next time.
Bye
Love to
bye.
you all. Bye bye.